Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Arena Saturday. Kasie Hunt is off. I'm Pamela Brown, and the clock is ticking toward Election Day. And the Democrats seem to have found new energy after a string of key primaries this week. Wisconsin Democrats surprised everyone pretty much by choosing David Crowley. All right, a lot to dive into here, but let's just start with the big picture. Dana, tell us what your big takeaways were from this week's races.
That not only is this country very divided, almost evenly divided, the Democratic Party is too.
Is Haley Stevens right? Is it good to be a Democrat right now?
You know, I would rather be a Democrat than be a Republican, and obviously I am a Democrat. So yes, I think this is a good time to be a Democrat. I do think that we have the wind in our sails right now. I do think that we have momentum.
The governor endorsed someone but didn't endorse the guy who was his lieutenant governor. There was the center versus left. And in order to win, that party has to unite, and just in terms of fundraising and events and so on.
And so the wind is in the sails of the Democrats. But the question is, by nominating far left socialist candidates, how much is it going to curtail what could be a bigger night for Democrats? I think that's the opportunity the Republicans have right now.
My warning to my fellow Republicans, Will, would be if we don't get this right, don't blame young people for being sympathetic to socialism.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting point. We're going to leave it there for now because we have more to discuss. Coming up in the arena, President Trump tries to tamp down widespread criticism over his latest executive order on health policy. It's our quote of the week.
We have really no choice, and nothing bad can happen from what we're doing. Nothing bad can happen. Effective immediately, my administration is recognizing gold standard childhood vaccine recommendations for only 11 core vaccinations against the most serious and dangerous diseases, along with the MMR, which hopefully will be split up. You have the MMR, we want it in 3 separate vaccinations, given at separate times.
Well, earlier this week, the president signed a wide-ranging executive order to reshape the childhood vaccination schedule. Let's look ahead here on the arena. One member of Congress going public about a personal health journey and what she's saying about whether that decision collides with her potential political future. We'll be back.
I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire that had you as the leading candidate, leading choice for Democrats. First, are you going to run for president?
I mean, I'm focused on winning the midterms.
I have made the decision to start freezing my eggs. So I'm aware that just by me choosing to not keep this private, there may be a consequence. But you know what? I'm okay with that. This is a choice that I am making to feel more in control of my life.
Well, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doing something a bit unusual for a politician. All right, ahead in the arena. On that note, how the nation's capital is still feeling the impact of a decision President Trump made 1 year ago this week.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. And I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. And I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C.
1 year ago this week, President Trump deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C. Well, this week, a total solar eclipse created a spectacle in the sky for millions of people. And thanks to my panel, thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. The news continues next on CNN.